Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zach. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. I'm going to start with the due diligence part, and then I'm going to dive through the technical analysis. If you'd like to skip through the technical analysis, you can go ahead. Now, before we move on to everything here, make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, and leave notifications on. Let's jump right into it. So, United Wholesale Mortgage. Now, this one here, the ticker for this one is going to be GHIV. They're doing a reverse merger for Gores Holdings IV Corporation's ordinary shares for Class A, and the main purpose of this ticker to start with is to find a reverse merger. Now, the board of directors already have passed overwhelmingly the acceptance of UWM to be on the reverse merger there. Now, I try to go on through any presentation I could find. A bit struggled there in that level, but nonetheless, we're going to cover a little bit of who they are, what the business model is. So, starting off, in the news, UWM in the news, it looks like they have prominent names, looking like they're collaborating on different articles. These, for instance, are not basically articles highlighting UWM, but UWM include supporting other different news outlets with material. Industry news, well, this is just major industry news rather than UWM special, so that's something to keep in mind. They have different teams, whether sales, underwriting, training, marketing, technology, operating, closing, legal compliance, team member services, secondary marketing, and finance. When you look into their story, on their website here, they mentioned that they're one of the largest, fast-growing wholesale lenders in the United States. For more than, well, let me actually here for y'all folks that want to read with me. We've been changing the game by marketing elite client services, cutting-edge technologies, and fastest-running turn times in the industry, the cornerstones of our business. Coached like a team, UW President and CEO Matt Ishabia runs his company like a winning team. Each UWM team has a specific role, and we all work together to support clients. Alright, so they're working on that kind of structure. Relations come first, etc., etc. Training, transparency, and technology. Well, you get to see they are more of a mortgage company, whether you price a loan, start a loan, or manage your pipeline. Very much off what you would expect for a wholesale mortgage lender. The leadership, Matt Ishabia here. If you would like to go on, you can go on check his bio, but there's others as well on that team. So prior to joining UWM, Matt played for Michigan State basketball team for 4 years, going into 3 Final Fours, winning the national championship in 2000. Now, of course, if anyone knows, you know, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, yeah, they used to play professional sports before running a business. I'm just pulling in. They're like, I don't see why this is really important there. But I guess they want to show, hey, they're winning a team, they're winning team, etc. But 4 years in basketball in Michigan State, I don't think that's significant much at all. But anyway, yeah, he's a coach in basketball. Now, what I would like here for them to be highlighting is, hey, first, what is his technical experience about businesses? And then you go on down there. Alright, so by 2013, Matt was named, actually way up there. Over the next 10 years, Matt's sports background, leadership style, dedication to a team-focused business approach enabled him to gain record-breaking wholesale market shares and rapidly grow UWM into a leading lending. Okay, so it looks like after he finished in with his basketball in 2003, he joined UWM as a 12th team member, began the role of operations, and learned mortgage processing from the ground up. So it kind of is an inspiring thing where he was hands-on and kind of got all the way up. It's just quite interesting to start with the basketball. You know? Next thing here, Krista Bennett, Alan Badon, Jason Bressler, etc. Some random people with, oh my god, zero diversity. Okay, anyway, they have different levels of blonde. That's important. Oh, they have a brunette. Okay, there you go. That's diversity. Nonetheless, let's move forward. Now, loans, tools, and everything. It looks pretty simple to use. The website sometimes can be confusing if you don't sign up, so you need to sign up to find out more. Now, I did try to go on to find their balance sheets because that's very important for me, but before doing so, they are a small cap at $0.5 billion. Their valuation, though, is 1.3 for price over book, which really beats off the SP 500 3.8 value. So it looks like they are, in fact, compared to the SP 500, undervalued. Now, cash and cash equivalent, we're looking at 1.1. This is not in thousands, just 1.1 million compared to 1,100 from last year. Your total assets are looking around 427 million. Of course, this is a bunch of why, last year they didn't really have much to report as GHIV because Gores Holdings didn't really go through a reverse merger or through the process of there. But in terms of revenue, it looks like here for the March, 3 months ending March is nothing. But if we were to look into the total assets from June 30, 2020, coming in from March, what we get to see is a bit off the same thing. Nothing happening there. I don't think, for me, June and March are as important, but still go through it there. Any revenue here reported, we don't see any revenues that are being reported, but we have a net income. So a net income is 468,000. That is for 6 months ending June. Now we need to compare it with the September numbers. Before doing so, this is the paper or the document that really explains everything about the reverse merger, and you get to see here for GHV, UWM is the company they're going with for reverse merger. They're going to be as well having approximately 94% of combined common units in UWM. Yep, so that shows you what I'm talking about. The transactions with UWM is the 5th SPAC merger for Gores, representing over 25 billion in combined transaction value. Like in our previous transaction with Hostess, Vera Mobility, PAE, and announced transactions of Luminar, Gores Holdings IV set out to find high-quality business with an excellent management team and attractive value proposition, and we believe that UWM meets and exceeds our expectations on all fronts. Now, the equity has a value of $16 billion. UMDM is the second mortgage lender in the United States and is the first lender wholesale broker channel, originating more home loans than the next 5 wholesaler combined. Now, that is massive for me, and I think that they're highly undervalued under the $0.5 billion. It looks like it probably would increase in the next 10 years or so, multiple folds, just based on that news, if they actually got it right. That's a big thing to say there. Their net income alone is 1.44 billion net income dollars. So when you're looking, that's only for the third quarter. And so the numbers speak for themselves. If they have over 54.2 billion in loan volume with net income of 1.45 billion dollars, and you get to see their market cap is around 0.5 billion dollars, it really shows you how undervalued these guys are. And you can expect that there is going to probably be an increase in terms of the price in the longer term. Now, the next thing here is when we're looking into the current assets. This is for September 30th. You get to see their current assets are decreasing around $1 million every quarter. Total liabilities remains very much almost comparable. But when we look down into their net income, your net cash used in operations is negative. Your net losses are negative, or net losses are massive, 4.8 million. That is massive. Now, big part of it comes in when you're doing stuff like an IPO or a reverse merger. There's a lot of expenses that goes to this, so we'll cut them a break. The next thing here is they close an 800 million aggregate private placements for principal amount of 5.5% senior notes. They're due in 2025. So that has already been closed, and all right, here the policy of issuing the regular annual dividends of 0.40 per share. So there's going to be dividends for this one at 40 cents. That's the recommendation that the board is going over for that kind of private placement as well. So next thing comes in towards us is the technical analysis, as promised. So coming in now, the technical analysis. Oh, I don't need this. Well, this was during the day. Now, GHIV here, you get to see that the MACD here is actually climbing back up. That is an indication for another run. Nothing here significant on anything else. The moving averages do look bearish. Now, on the one-day perspective, what we get to see here is it looks quite bullish. MACD is retracting a little bit from where it was earlier in the day, but it still looks bullish. Momentum looks really strong. 80x shows in a potential for a very strong trend, and William percent R looks like it's retracting. Moving averages are bullish. Now, on a 2-hour perspective, what we get to see here is something along the line of what we've seen in the 1-week perspective, where the MACD is actually retracting. But it's in the trading action zone, and that's where reversals are likely. So for me, it's safe above 1054. Once it starts breaking the 1054, I would just cut it loose until for the next push. Even though we've seen a little bit of similar movement here before, where it dropped and then it gapped up and then dropped, so already filled that gap, so we might actually see a bit more growth at this level. Now, the stochastic fast and stochastic low here, what we get to see is they're both telling you, hey, there might be another leg, but be careful in this level. Then moving averages band, it shows an 1108 on top, where it's expected to trade, 1008 in the middle, and 907 on the bottom. Now, chart-wise, what we get to see here is on the Fibonacci retracements, the support sits at 1047, followed by 1025, followed by 990. As a resistance is 1065, 1082, and 1107. Now what we can do here quickly is just jump momentarily onto the price line action. But before doing so and pinpointing exactly where the next Fibonacci, where the supports and resistances go, I would like to take this second to mention about the Discord that we have in the description below. We have a Discord here. It's not paid or anything. It's totally free. And the only purpose for this one is to trade together, kind of discuss technical analysis, technical indicators, and answer any questions you have. I'm usually a lot active there along the day, so might as well join it. Now, price line actions, we get to see there is a significant support here at the 1060 level. And then below there, we're looking down to 1040 level. And below the 1040, we're looking down to, I believe, right here at 1019. Below 1019, we're looking down to 1011. Below 1011, we're looking down at 996. Significant resistances here at this level, we're looking up to 1069. And then above there, a very strong one at 1080. And then above there, we're looking a very, very strong one at 11 bucks. Above 11 bucks, we're jumping up to 1120. Now comes into the question, Ed, what do you think about this company? Investment long term, if this merger does go through, and I believe it will, this is a very strong move. Now the big problem with this one here is, hey, it looks like it's a massive red candle, very much mimicking this one here. So if you're trading it, you might want to see if it stabilizes first and accumulates. But if you're investing, buy it and forget about it, because this one does look solid if the numbers are actually in fact showing is real. Now, what do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.